How are you all? I hope you all will be doing good. So in today's videos uh, I will explain all of the buffs, nerfs and balancings in this new PvP balance update that just got released yesterday. uh, so I will be covering everything including the buffs, nerfs and balances. So there are like more than 100 changes of fruits, fighting styles, sword, guns, races and instinct mechanics. So first, let us took a look at this image. Here we can see uh, Sanguine got nerfed, Dragon Talon got nerfed, and that step as well as Sharkman Karate, both of them got a buff, while Electric Claw and God Human are still, like, that means are working on them. uh, so yeah, I think the Electric Claw and God Human will get I think God Human will get a nerf in future updates, while Claw will get a buff because it's the least used, and yeah, the visuals are bad, so I think they might change its visual as well. So let's take a look at the buffs. So like there are 26 items that got buffed, so let us cover them. So the first one is dark, and yeah, the vacant one got a buff. So the Z move no longer self stuns you, like uh, yeah, you won't get stunned by the move itself, and like while using it, and its range is increased by 25%, which is a great thing, as well as its hitbox size is also increased by 25% because it traveled in a straight line. So yeah, they did a really good thing. As for the X move, it's now stuns the opponent and breaks the instinct. No, and the end lag is decreased by 25%. If you don't know about the end lag, so like end lag is a thing like you can't move after using the you can't move for a second after using the skills. So when, like, before this patch updates, when you used a weekend dark X, you were frozen for quite amount of time. Now that time is decreased by 25%. Then we go to the C move. So its hitbox is increased by 15%, and when you fully hold it, the stun on the final hit is increased by 50%. I mean the stun duration, which is a very great buff for dark. As for the V move, cast time is decreased by 25%, and as well as the end lag, and its travel speed is increased by 20%, because yeah, I guess the dark bomb needed uh, buff because it was hella slow, uh, and end lag is decreased as well. So that's all for dark. um, then we come to do. They buffed the Z skill X and C and V. I guess everything except the F move, because the F move doesn't need it a buff. So if you use the Z move and tap, its hitbox size is increased by 15%, and if you hold it, its travel speed is increased by 20%, which is makes it harder to escape for your opponent. Its size is increased by 15%, same as tap move. And then we go to the X move, where the end lag is decreased by 20%, and the hitbox size is increased by 20% on both variants, as well as the air and ground variant. So I guess the air one had a aimbot, and now it's much better because its hitbox is increased. And as for the ground one, dude, it was insane as hell, and now they buffed it again. And the end lag is decreased by 20%. It means you can use the moves faster, like you won't be frozen for a long amount of time. Then we go to the C move, where dude, it was like already it had a great AoE. And then the stun duration is increased by 40%. Dude, now you can easily use combos using the C skill. And then we go to the dude, like it they increased its damage, because you can hold it for 1 second more, and the cast time is decreased by 20%, making combos much easier and harder to flash step. But yeah, if you are encountering a Do user, if you are good enough, you can easily like punish them between the delays. And then we go to the dragon hybrid form got a big buff, because dragon hybrid form had like a decent amount of size, like half of the Buddha's awakened Buddha. So like when you used its X move, the hitbox size was same as normal. So they increased its hitbox size, and now it also breaks instinct. So yeah, great for combo. Then we come to eagle. The end leg of Z move is decreased by 20%. The for the C move, wind up is wind up decreased by 45%, and the travel speed is increased by 25%. Okay, I was wrong. The wind up decreased by 45%, and the travel speed is increased by 25%. As per the V move, they increased the hitbox by 20%, and the stun duration is increased by 30% as well. So like it's easy to do combos with eagle. They it made it much faster, because they increased the flight speed by 30%. And yeah, meter drain is increased while flying with a gun or a sword equipped. So yeah, meter drains a little faster. Then we come to Fiend Yeti. As for the Fiend Yeti, it also got a good buff, because if you use the Z tap, the wind up is decreased by 20%, and its hitbox size is increased by 15%, which is great because it didn't had that much range. While the Z hold, cast time is decreased to zero 0.5 seconds, which is also really great. Then we come to X hold. The cast time is decreased by 20%, which is great. Range is also increased as well, great thing. And his hitbox is increased by 25%. Light get good buff. The end lag in C move is decreased by 60%, which is really great, I mean. And for the F move, the hitbox is increased by 15%, and they increased the damage of all moves by 17%. Very huge buff for Vindiati and Do, as well as Eagle. And we come to Flame. uh, for the X move, the travel speed is increased by 40%, and for the V, cast time is decreased by 30 and travel speed is increased by 30%, which is a very great buff for Flame. It can be like used in PvP. And for the F move, the cooldown is decreased by 20%. Like it doesn't change many things in it. When I come to Gas, which was already hella OP, and they buffed it again. They increased the hitbox size by 15%, and for the C move, they increased its damage by 30%, and the charging time is reduced by 30%, which is great. And one of the best buff goes to Ghost and Ice, because now they are Ghost is one of the best fruits for PvP, changing the whole meta. For the Z move, the cast time is decreased by 50%, stun duration increased from 1 seconds to 0.1 seconds. which is like not that good, but yeah, good if you are fast enough. And for the X move, the range is increased by 15%. For the C move, the knockback is decreased by 30%, which means like your opponent won't be get thrown really far, and you can easily use combos by without using flash step. And one of the best buff goes to V move. Now the summon ghost got a major ability upgrade, and now they can mirror your sword abilities and use them, which is great, like really great. And for the F move, its cast time is decreased by 50%. Now another now we come to ice. And yeah, the X move now breaks instant, and his hitbox is increased by 25%. It means, yeah, you are cooked. For the C move, the travel speed is increased by 60%, making it easy to hit, and you are cooked, bro. Now these ice users can use V move in the air. Though it's only for the weekend ice, but yeah, it's hell OP. But yeah, not that good if you don't know how to flash step in air. Then we come to mammoth. Not that much. The damage just got increased by 10%, and dash distance got increased by 10%. I mean, yeah, decent. Then we come to Phoenix Awakened. For the transformed, the M1 damage increased by 20%, hitbox size increased by 20%, explosion hitbox size increased by 20%. The damage is increased by 15%, and for the X move that healed you, its energy cost is decreased by 40%. Then we get to Quake, which got a very good, very big buff as well. Uh, Hello OP for PvP, because the Z move, as for the Z move, the damage is increased by 20%, and the end lag is decreased by 70%, which means yeah, it's OP, hell OP. And we come to the X move, the damage is increased by 40%, and the wind up speed is increased by 30%, and the end lag is decreased by 30%. We come to the C move, damage is increased by 40%, wind up is decreased by 30%, and end lag is decreased by 40%, which is great because all of the quick moves had a very huge amount of time as the end lag, which made it a little hard to start do combos with it. So and as for the V move, its damage got increased by 20%. I guess the Quake deserved it, because you see the move like had a very huge amount of AoE, but the damage was not enough. We come to the sand. You know, sand was OP. Like, I mean, it was OP. Like the dude, it had really many one-shot combos. They buffed the X move, and now the end lag is decreased by 40%, making it harder to use the sand coffin, making it easier, I mean, to use the sand coffin combo. Yeah, you got wrapped up, buddy. And for the C move, the end lag is decreased by 60%, which is great as well. Hitbox has increased by 25%, amazing. And as for the V move, that vortex state is, what do you mean, dude? It's increased by 100%, pulling enemies more strongly towards the center. Cast time decreased by, dude, it like it's hella OP for combos. And for the F move, the flat speed is increased by 25%, which Sand really deserved because it was hella slow. And we come to Spider. Spider needed a buff, so yeah, they buffed it. For the weekend, dude, it's hard to weekend though. But yeah, for the weekend move, the damage in for the Z move, the damage is increased by 20%. Great. The range is increased by 20%. His box size is increased by 20% as well. And for the X move, the hitbox size is increased by 30%, and the stun duration is increased by 20%. You see, I guess the X move is great for combos, as well as the Z move. Yeah, but it still requires a good amount of skill. But yeah, every part of everything here changes the meta. I'm not going to cover up the tiger fruit because you see it's really got a huge amount of buffs. I would just show them in the upcoming video where I would show most of the buffs. So yeah, I would just show the buffs and yeah, explain most of them to you. But yeah, I won't explain because the video is getting longer. So the normal yeti, let's jump to normal yeti, where it's the for the F move the hitbox size is increased by 10% and damage of all moves are increased by 10%. Here we come to the buff of fighting styles. The death step, its range is increased by 50% and his hitbox size is increased by 50%. And for the X move, the range is increased by 20% and the hitbox is also increased by 20%. For C move, damage over time got increased by 20%, which is amazing. End lag is decreased from 0.5 to 1 second, 0.1 second. The hitbox size is increased by 15%, making that strip uh, a little usable. And as for the V move, cooldown is decreased by 50%, duration is decreased by 50%, which is great for dash strip. No one used it. Now I think few people will use this thing. We come to Sharkman Karate. The Sharkman Karate no longer launches your opponent into the air. I mean the move that had a shark and covered your opponent into a ball. So yeah, that move launched your opponent in air when the or blasted. So yeah, it won't do this thing now. And the speed of the shark is increased by 25%, like that when to catch up the opponents. And as for the C move, now it grants you temporary health based on the damage absorbed, making you a little tankier, and it's no longer instinct trickable. And if you are holding it, it won't be cancelled by any upcoming damage, and the damage reduction while holding it is also increased. It means like shoot, if you are holding C, you are just a tank. Damn it. And the whole time is now 2.1 second. You are a time for 0.1 seconds. We come to is for dark blade. Dark blade really needed a buff, so it got a buff. The charge speed is increased by 10%, end lag is decreased by 30%, range is increased by 10%, and hitbox size is increased by 10%. We come to pole V2, which deserved a buff. I mean, yeah, it really deserved a buff. So yeah, the hitbox size increased by 35%. The end lag is decreased from 0.3 to 0.15 seconds, and yeah, the range increased by 25%, and hitbox size is increased by 20%. This means pole v2 will be used in PvP from now on. I hate this. Let's get to it again. The next is twin hook, and the landing location of the enemy while using the Z move is now very much predictable. We come to guns, where uh, Kabucha now applies 0.5 second stun instead of a knockup. It means yeah, both of these move got a huge amount of stun. And X for the X move, the end lag is decreased from 0.4 to 0.2%, making it harder for you to escape and easier for your opponent to start a combo on you, do a combo on you. And for the venom bow, the range is increased by 15% for the Z move, and for the X move, it applies a 1 second long stun even when instinct dodged. Okay, now you are generally cooked, I guess, because this thing was already great and it would beat the hell out of you. As for the gun M1s, the M1 uh, now has an aim assist, which means you gotta stay safe from those dragon storm spammers. For instinct, The dodge regeneration time is decreased from 40 to 30 seconds, allowing instinct dodges to replenish 25% faster. All of these things are really going to change the meta. And now we are going to check on the nerfed nerfs. So for the first nerf, we got the Empyrean Kitsune, and I think Galaxy Kitsune also got a nerf, which they both really deserved it, guys. Like, dude, it was hell up. It could one shot a dragon if you use it properly. For the Z tap move, it no longer breaks instant. Damage is decreased by 30% for the whole move, and now the X move channels on hit, and the user cannot cast another ability before the animation is completed. So yeah, you are safe from that, those guys who used X then immediately and used the C on top, making the damage greater and hard for you to recover your health. And for the C move, that end lag is increased by 0.3%, which is really great. And for the Kitsune, okay, so yeah, all of these are for untransformed. It means you are still cooked. So yeah, for the untransformed, Z tap no longer breaks instinct, and now it's instinct triggable. And for the X move, now it now channels on hit, and the user cannot cast another ability before the, yes, same as the Empyrean. But yeah, if the Kitsune user transform, believe me, you are cooked. As for the lightning, the V move got a huge nerf because yeah, it was hella OP. So yeah, the hitbox size is decreased by 30%, and the size that was gained from charging is also decreased by 25%, making it harder for your opponent to catch you off guard using the V attack. Now we go to the fighting styles. The Sanguine is the only fighting style that got a nerf because Dragon Tyrant got balanced. So yeah, the range is decreased by 15% for the C move, and his hitbox size is decreased by 10% as well. Not a huge nerf, I guess. Then we come to swords. So yeah, here Dragonheart now got a nerf. Sadly, the damage instinct drain decreased by 50% for initial hits. Not a huge buff, but yeah, it's instinct trickable now. We come to Yama, which was like really, dude, it was OP. Like, it was one of best swords for combos, but yeah, they destroyed it, dude. Like, it was not, it was OP, dude. So now it no longer breaks instinct, and yeah, it only drains instinct while the target remains in the hitbox. Sadly, this is bad for Yama users. Now we come to Skull Guitar. The movement bug that was used has been removed. And for the X move, its hitbox size is decreased by 15%. Not huge, but yeah, still. And as for the goal before, this thing really deserved a nerf because, like, it was just like spamming the hell out of your opponent. Dude, it was almost impossible to kill a goal before user. So yeah, this thing really deserved a nerf in my opinion. So for the first gear, the lifesteal is decreased from 27 to 20%, which is great. For the second gear, again the lifesteal is decreased from 37 to 30%, which is great. Now the crows drain instinct instead of breaking it, and for the damage, it's decreased by 10%. Very huge nerf for goal before. And we come to adjustments. Control got adjustments that it really deserved. For the X move, the cooldown is increased by 4%, while the hitbox size is increased by 10%. Means it would take 4. Damn, dude, it's really long. So yeah, cool control is not that much usable outside domain, but yeah, inside domain, it's, you know, still OP. For the C move, cooldown is got increased by 4%. For the F move, end lag is increased by 0.5% when hitting an enemy. We come to the dagger mode. Damage is increased by 350%, which is hell OP. I mean hell OP.
but the cooldown is increased by 20 to 50%, which is again hell OP nerf. We come to X move, the end lag is increased by 0.525 seconds, and the range is decreased by 10%, while the hitbox size is decreased by 10%. So yeah, that in the dagger mode, the X move got nerfs instead of any balance and buff. For the C move, same as like X move, nerfs only. We come to diamond, and for the M1 it no longer breaks instant, and the cooldown is decreased by 20%. And for the C move, they added a 1 second long stun, making it great. All of the damage are decreased by 10%. Not that, yeah,
Really, really unusable. Like, dude, it was really bad and you made it worse. We come to pain. The passive move, the last stand, got a huge change. Before the balance, when you got into the last stand, you if you kill your opponent, nothing would have happened and you would die when the timer meter runs out. But now, if you are in the last stand and you kill enemy before the meter is to zero, like I mean meters drains out, the meter would reset to zero and you won't die. But yeah, NPC eliminations do not count. So yeah, it will only work for player kills. In his swords, true triple katana got balance. The end leg is increased by 0.5%, but the travel speed is increased by 25%, making it great for combos. But yeah, end leg is a bit of a problem. And for the last but not least adjustment, Shark V4. As for the V3, cooldown is increased by 15%. Fine. Duration is increased from 0.5 to 5%, making it balanced. For the V4, shield now scales up to 60% of the maximum HP, and the damage by the whirlpool have the enemy hit by the whirlpool have their damage decreased by, making the Shark V4 usable and better again. Hope you enjoyed this video and loved the patches, and I hope they buff dragon in future. Yeah, they should buff dragon in future. And yeah, everything changes, the whole meta, like the whole meta is changed. See you in later videos where I would showcase all of these changes. See you, bye bye.